vijana chapakazi wenye nguvu za ziada.
My youth, uko na talent ya kusing, spoken word, kucompose jingles ama any other unexploited artistic talent. Gava through Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy na KBC sasa wamekama up na project ya kupromote usanii called Studio Mashinani. Hizi ni studios ziko grassroots and they are fitted with high quality state-of-the-art equipment where you can produce quality audio and video music content for free. What's more, wanaoffer mentorship na talanta yako itakuwa promoted on KBC Channel 1 TV, Y254 na radio stations za KBC. Tembelea Studio Mashinani huko Comarox, Langata, Sauti House Mombasa, Kirwara huko Gatanga, Kitui next to Manyanyoni Chiefs Camp na Kisumu City wako hapo KBC Station. Usilalie talent. This is your chance to commercialize and popularize your talent through Studio Mashinani.
What's in your kitchen? A show that celebrates Kenyan and African dishes.
Rusha. Wait. Be careful.
Yes, because I've seen some fire jump there.
That is called flambeing. Flambeing.
So tukiona moto tujue ni flambeing. Crushed methi seeds. Kila siku soma kitu mpya. Mchele yetu iko sawa?
Perfect.
Iko sawa? Tumalize
sasa ni kwenda tukule.
Napima.
Hii ni chakula mzuri sana.
Nzito kabisa. Salivate this delicious meal on your screen while taking notes for the recipe. Don't miss What's in Your Kitchen on KBC.
Mimi ni Shamsa mke wa Zito. Zito aliniambia kuwa hana mke. Mimi sitaki kujua.
Kiza Jamal. Shamsa is my wife. Achana naye. Sawa.
Zito kufa kuzikana. Zuri.
She hasn't just taken this title, she's absolutely obliterated the whole field. 3:52.96.
It's a big stage, big names and big expectations. An immersive celebration of athleticism. More than 2,000 athletes from over 200 countries will compete in 49 events. Drawing inspiration from past memorable outings, Team Kenya is looking ahead for a remarkable feat in the forthcoming World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary in Central Europe. Witness the wonders from Budapest, Hungary on 19th through to the 27th of August, live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1, the true sports partner.
It is indeed exactly 1 p.m. East African time on this 15th day of August 2023, a very special day, especially for Devolution in the country, as the Devolution Conference kicks off in the City of Champions, Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County. We are keeping our keen eyes on that report, plus much more. This is what my colleagues and I have lined up for you. Thank you so much for making time. My name is Bentroy Njue, and Lensa Odingo will be our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Straight to the news. We do begin on a tragic note where a family in Malindi town, Kilifi County, is seeking help to retrieve the body of their kin who dived to her death at the Kilifi Bridge. According to her family, 22-year-old Beatrice Kalume left their home in Malindi on Thursday last week and did not return. The family got the news of the alleged suicide from local authorities, with her identity card and phone having been recovered by the police.
The family of 22-year-old Beatrice Kalome is in distress following the alleged suicide of their kin at the Kilifi bridge on Thursday. Days later, the search for her body continues with little success due to the depth and visibility challenges of the creek. The deceased's elder brother decrying late response from the local authorities in retrieving the body, which forced them to hire local divers.
Tunakodisha vifaa, ni pesa inaenda bila mafanikio yote. Kama sasa hivi tumetoka kodisha mitungi. Mitungi imeisha, gas hatujui wapi tutapata, na mitungi county ipo.
Alafu vile tunamtafuta tunamkosa, bado inaongezea uchungu ambao paka sasa japo tunatarajia kumpata, lakini still bado tuna hofu kwa sababu hatujui kama ama bado hatuna ule uhakika kwamba tutampata.
Sijaona msaada leo, paka mtoto wangu sahihi bado yuko kwa maji, mimi nenda. Na ni siku ya 4 leo. Sijapata msaada.
According to an eyewitness, the deceased, who was a final year student at the Shanzu Teachers College in Mombasa, jumped off the Kilifi bridge, tried screaming for help and even swimming before she drowned. Her family now calling for a revamp of safety measures at the bridge, which they say has now become a suicide spot.
Within a week watu watatu wameangamia, wamejurusha kwa maji. Kwa hivyo kama inawezekana kuweze kuwekwa security ili watu waweze kutoangamia ovyo katika maji.
The family remains in agony and hopes that their efforts will bear fruits so that they can accord their loved one a befitting send-off. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Now cross over to Uasin Gishu County and specifically Eldoret Town, where the Devolution Conference is starting today all the way to the 19th of this month. And Achola Simon and crew have been there since morning and files this report. I can see you. Achola, good afternoon. How are you and how is the Devolution Conference today?
Well, thank you very much indeed, Ben, Troy, and Njue. We are in Uasin Gishu County, as you've rightly put it, specifically in Eldoret, where we are actually focusing on Devolution Conference that is kicking on today, but officially it will be launched tomorrow by President William Ruto. And of course, our delegates have started streaming in quite early in the morning. And of course, what usually happens on day one is registration and just ensuring that everything is in order. And as you can actually see behind me is that most delegates have actually been here quite early in the morning, just trying to ensure that first they take their accreditation and also they take their badges so that they can actually access various halls that have been designated for various purposes here in various venues that have actually been set aside for this particular conference. And since morning, that is what has been happening. On the other side at Eldoret Sports Club, what is also going on is that the venues are actually being put in place the last minute, sprucing up just to ensure that indeed tomorrow when this Devolution Conference officially kicks off, that everything is actually in top gear. The other thing that I would actually like to put to your attention is the fact that security has actually been beefed up, and what is actually happening around town is that each and every place that, or each and every venue that this conference is actually going, or activities related to this conference is actually going to be carried out. What is happening is that there's thorough scrutiny in terms of security, just to ensure that people who are actually getting at the venue of this conference are those that are actually supposed to get into those conferences, and everything that is actually being done there permitted. Remember that this is a conference that will actually be the first conference that will be happening after 2 years. Remember, it has been actually now been shifted to biannual, and of course this year is 10 years down the line, and there'll be quite a lot in discussion, matters health, matters infrastructure, matters everything as pertains devolution, where we have actually done well, where we have not done very well, and of course the lessons that have actually been learned along the way. Various governors have actually already arrived and will be trying as much as we can, so that then we can actually have a discussion with a number of them, so that then they give us their insight into what needs to be done better and what has actually been done better, and how we can actually move forward with this thing called devolution, and how it can actually be beneficial to Kenyans as was envisaged by the crafters of the new constitution. Back to you, Ben Troy, Njue.
Thank you. That has been my colleague Achola Simon live from Eldoret town, where we do expect the Devolution conference taking stock of about 10 years since we started the devolved system of governance. It's all system go. Registration currently underway. Over 10,000 delegates expected. And of course, Eldoret will be a hive of activities in the course of this week. The highlight will be the official opening of the conference by President William Ruto tomorrow in the morning, and you can bet on KBC Channel 1 to bring you that live coverage. Away from that, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto has commissioned an airlift program that will see hundreds of students leave for Israel to learn modern technology in agriculture for 11 months. The students were picked from various universities across the country in a competitive process and will join other graduates from across the African continent. The program that began in the year 2016. The First Lady and respective principal secretaries in the Ministry of Agriculture said the program is among the strategies the country has employed towards ensuring the country becomes food secure in the years to come.
Israel is a global leader in maximizing production. You are so blessed because you will be learning from the best in the world. This practical exposure will equip you with skills and competitiveness through the transfer of knowledge and technology. Engage with your fellow trainees, share your knowledge, and embrace the wisdom they have to offer in return. By learning from one another, you become not just representatives of our country, but ambassadors of global unity and progress. It is my singular honor to officially declare the 2023 Mashav Agricultural Training Cohort officially commissioned. Thank you for your kind attention, safe travels, and may the Lord bless you.
Elsewhere, a suspect who was arrested in Maragua town of Muranga County for allegedly practicing law illegally will be arraigned today at the Keno Court of Law and charged with impersonation. The Law Society of Kenya LSK arrested Faith Waithera at her office and took her to Maragua police station, where she recorded a statement. The Law Society of Kenya has also called on Kenyans to be careful while seeking legal services to avoid falling into the hands of quack lawyers.
Made our way there in the company of my colleague here, Steve Mbogwa, and the DCI officers based in Baragua. We managed to nab her. In fact, at the time that we got to the office, she was actually attending to some clients.
And we have been calling upon all members of the public to provide information on any persons they think or find is pretending to be a counsel and offering legal service.
In other news, a trader in Mwingi town is counting losses after her wholesale shop was razed down by a fire. Florence Wambua says the fire was caused by an electric fault. The fire quickly spread with a gas cylinder that was inside the shop also exploding. Wambua's 6-year-old son, who was at the shop, was saved in the nick of time.
These were the remains of what once stood as a wholesale shop and the only source of income for Florence Wambua. The shop, which also doubles up as her home, all razed to the ground. The incident that occurred in Mwingi town attracting a multitude of onlookers, some trying to put out the fire. Wambua had stepped out of her shop, leaving her 6-year-old behind to buy him popcorn when the unfortunate incident happened.
Nimetoka kwa nduka kuendea popcorn. Kufika kwa nyumba nikapata moto, nyumba imeingia moto. Nikaokoa mtoto. Stima iko saidi ya kitanda ilikuwa imechomeka. Na ngazi iko saidi nyingine.
Upon her return, she would hear her son, who was still trapped in the shop, screaming for help. She managed to save her son, but everything else was destroyed in the fire.
Hakuna kitu nimeokoa. Hakuna. Mtoto ndio nimeokoa.
Mwingi Central Sub-County Police Commander Abdikadir Malicha, who visited the scene, said the cause of the fire could have been an electric fault. He also thanked the area residents for stepping in and helping to contain the fire.
Kutokana na hiyo moto pia gas cylinder ilishika moto na ikapasuka na ikachoma kila kitu kwa hiyo duka. Kwa bahati mzuri hakuna mtu aliumia, lakini mali ambaye ni zaidi ya 1,100 iliharibiwa na hiyo moto kabisa.
The residents urged the county government to ensure the town is equipped with a fire extinguisher in order to avert such damages.
Nashangaa sana kama Mwingi sub-county hakuna fire extinguisher. Ingelikuwa karibu huyo madam angechomekewa na kila kitu. Wakati watu wa Kanjo wamefika, wamekuta kila kitu yote imechomeka, ikawa ni njivu.
Ni muhimu sana kama gari ya zimamoto inaweza patikana ama iwekwe katika station hapa Mwingi town. Ndio kisa kama hii kitokea inaweza saidia wananchi.
Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Lunchtime News.
In other news, a week-long awareness workshop on the risk associated with female genital mutilation, FGM, has commenced in Kuria West, Migori County. The workshop, dubbed Kambi ya Wasichana, aims to introduce a fresh approach to combating FGM, where more than 300 girls from the community are set to benefit.
During the official inauguration of the workshop, Agnes Ayako, the spouse of the Migori County Governor, highlighted the significance of convening girls, their parents, the practitioners of FGM and clan elders to facilitate the spread of information and encourage behavioral change.
Because we know culture is good and they are the custodians of this culture, but if they get exposed to the issues, the challenges that our girls face when they undergo FGM, maybe we are believing that they will understand.
Sentiments echoed by Dr. Betty Samboru, the executive officer in the Department of Culture and Education of Migori County, who said curbing FGM requires active community engagement rather than coercive enforcement.
As you can see, this type of program of mentorship training is to impart knowledge to these girls, to impart knowledge to their parents.
Furthermore, the workshop will address additional topics, including menstrual hygiene and fostering a shift in attitudes towards other aggressive cultural practices.
From Migori to Kiambu County, where the county government has repossessed a public bus park in Kahawa Sukari that had been encroached by local traders. Kahawa Sukari MCA Kennedy Odhiambo, who supervised the repossession of the facility, said, I'll take that again. Kahawa Sukari MCA Kennedy Odhiambo, who supervised the repossession of the facility, said the county authority will restore the public toilet and other amenities, including street lights that had been demolished. The quarter-acre plot next to Quickmart supermarket has been at the center of a long-standing row between the county government and traders claiming ownership of the property. County for the action of reclaiming the public land.
Hii samba ya Kahawa Sukari ilikuwa ya parking na iko wengine walikuwa nataka kuchukua ikue private, na leo hii tumerudisha na itakuwa parking ya watu resident wa Kahawa Sukari, na kando yake itakuwa stage ambayo watu wa sukari watakuwa na bebea watu wa matatu. Kwa wale ambayo wanachukua public lands wa Kahawa Sukari wawachana nayo. Na ningependa kusema kwa serikali ya William Ruto atusaidia kwa hizi samba za serikali ikuwe na title deed. Sababu hii karibu tumepoteza kama samba 3 na hii sasa imerudi kwa wananchi wa Kahawa Sukari.
Angalia pande ile matatu simefinyana sana. Hii ni waje ya serikali, tumeishi kuitafuta. Angalia show ilikuwa pale, ikabomolewa hapa pote na watu wote ni wafanyi biashara hapa. Hakuna pahali wanaweza jisaidia.
Hapa hizi magari zetu zote zilikuwa zinalipa zote. Over 40 of them tulikuwa tunalipa na tunasaidia mpaka government kulani.
And now something interesting for our viewers and also for the young entrepreneurs is that young entrepreneurs will now have an opportunity to participate in a business TV reality show to showcase their innovations, pitch business ideas for funding, as well as undergo skills development training. The reality show, dubbed The Eagle's Nest, is a brainchild of 5 government entities. It is aimed at providing opportunities for youth to showcase their innovation and be equipped with necessary skills and networks for the sustainability of their businesses.
The Eagle's Nest program will provide a platform for youth aged between 18 to 35 years to showcase their innovation, share knowledge, learn and connect with potential investors. State Department for Labor Skills Development Principal Secretary Geoffrey Kaituko, speaking at a meeting on the Eagle's Nest program, said the program will provide an opportunity for youth to learn and network and be trained on ways to ensure their businesses survive beyond the first year of establishment, calling on the youth to participate in the show.
Time has come 60 years after independence for us to shift the way we think and educate and train young people in this country. Because the old model is no longer working.
Youth Enterprise Development Fund Chief Executive Officer Josia Muriaso called upon the youth to embrace skill development training as the future.
We are trying to craft a program that seeks to reduce the unemployment among the young people of this country.
500 youth who will qualify in the initial stages will undergo a 28-day training at the Manu Chandari Innovation Hub at Kenyatta University. The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Acting Managing Director Samuel Maina said the program is in line with KBC's mandate to inform, entertain and educate, and offers an opportunity for youth-centered fresh content as well as platform for young people to engage in self-employment and entrepreneurship.
We are gathering all those talents, all those startup businesses, all those startup ideas, because they are ideas. Then we connect them to the market. The market is the investors and even sometimes government who would like to support the younger people, but they don't know where they are. So we are gathering them in this program and exposing them to the country and to the market.
The reality show is a partnership between the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, Kenyatta University, Kenya Industrial Property Institute, and the Youth Enterprise Development Fund. This program has been termed timely as it seeks to give youth a chance to put into practice their talents and skills in different job markets.
The people who are participating in this program they come from across Kenya. Now, how you sustain that is you let the Kenyans own this program such that they are looking forward to the next episode.
The proposed Eagle Nest program by the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation will attract thousands of youth between the ages of 18 to 35, where they'll be taken through a 3-phase training in competition, where the ultimate winner will bag a cash prize of 5 million Kenya shillings. This comes as a wake-up call to youth to take part in this program. Who will be the next millionaire in town? Only time will tell. Reporting for KBC Channel 1, I am Frederick Parsayo.
Yeah, next millionaire, young entrepreneurs, this is your golden opportunity. So keep tuned to KBC Channel 1. Elsewhere, a section of leaders from the Ukambani region now want to be included in the region's economic bloc, famously known as the Southeastern Kenya Economic Bloc, SEKEB. Led by Kitui East legislator Nimrod Mbai, the leaders say mentorship must involve all elected leaders in the region to hasten the implementation of development projects.
During a funds drive at Ikulu Baptist Church in Machakos, the leaders vowed to put aside their political party affiliations.
Na tuko tayari kufanya kazi chini yenu kama wabunge ambao tumechaguliwa na wananchi, ndio SEKEB tuweke pamoja kama jamii makama bila mtu kuja na chama yake.
The leaders who are pushing to be included in the region's economic bloc, famously known as the Southeastern Kenya Economic Bloc, SEKEB, said it will be much easier to push for the development as an umbrella than with governors only.
Pia MCA wakubaliwe tukuwe na mkutano ya SEKEB yenye iko na magavana, iko na MPs na iko na MCA wote wakubali. Kutoka hapo sasa ndio tutaanza namna ya kusonga na mbele. Kwa sababu it's about our economy. Shida yetu ni nini? Shida yetu ni maji. Tumeidia maji kutoka sijui enzi gani. How do we get water?
At a separate function, Matungulu Member of Parliament Stephen Mule said they were advocating for the unity of the Kamba community under the SEKEB umbrella to avoid a situation where the region does not enjoy the national cake.
One thing we are proposing is that the southern eastern bloc must be expanded to include members of parliament and members of county assembly, plus the governors and the senators and the women rep. And we have said categorically that will be our forum whereby unakuja kama mheshimiwa Amwala. Maneno ya vyama tunaacha nyuma, nitakuja kama mheshimiwa Amule. Wiper itaachia Wiper House.
At the same time, the leaders call for the clergy to be included in the bipartisan committee talks between the Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio Alliance groups. The Southern Eastern Kenya Economic Bloc was established by the governors to steer development agendas, marketing the bloc as a key investment, infrastructure development and interconnectivity of the region. Timothy Kidnoso for Lunchtime News.
And from politics, let's shift gears to matter security, where residents of Ololua Estate in Kajiado North Sub-County of Kajiado County have raised an alarm over increasing cases of insecurity in the area. The residents cite burglary and livestock theft as the leading cases of insecurity.
The spate of theft in Ololua Estate in Kajiado North Sub-County has left local residents in distress. Last night, a water vendor lost his 5 donkeys valued at 175,000 shillings before they were slaughtered in an open field within the estate. The residents claim suspected thieves dragged the victim during the theft.
Mimi niliamka asubuhi nikaangalia nikaona punda hakuna. Nikajaribu kuangalia kwa ile mashamba kwa sababu maybe zimekata zikaenda kwa shamba wenyewe. Nikaona kwa mashamba hakuna.
Ukitoka kwa gate mpaka ufunge hata mchana unapata tu watu tu wanaibiwa. Kwanza mahindi sasa zimekomaa, iko waizi wa mahindi kabisa vitu kama hiyo.
They suspected the donkey meat is being sold to unsuspecting customers in Kajiado satellite towns, among them Ngong and Ngata Rongai.
Kwa hivyo tunaweza omba serikali wajitokeze, waje watusaidie. Kama hizi misoga wajue pali watapeleka. Manake kama hatuna hiyo security, wanasaidi watupatie security.
The residents claim despite numerous crime cases reported to the police station, no single suspect has been arrested. They now want security operators to beef up security in the area.
Very well, at about 23 minutes past the hour, we are taking a quick break. But on the other side of this break, I'll be telling you all about the latest in the coffee reforms sector. Not forgetting all the latest from the world of sports. Keep it Channel 1.
저기서 뭐 하는 거야? 설마 그새 애 딸린 이혼녀랑 결혼이라도 한 거야?
오늘부로 시작 좀 허가한다.
잔말 말고 빨랑 찾아내라. 급하니까.
설마 납치된 거예요?
얼른 찾기나 해.
Hafai kuwa hapa ndani, anafaa kuwa kwa hospitali.
Hakuna wanaume siku hizi utakayempata kwa naye mpaka kifo.
Weki pipa. Wapeleka wapi chakula na wenyewe hawajakula bado?
Wamesema leo hawaji hapa na wapelekea.
Pili, hakuna mtu anayenipenda wala anayenijali, na wewe pia wataka kuniacha.
Unafanya nini nyumbani kwangu asubuhi na mapema hivyo? Tena umevaa night dress yangu.
Mom.
The money of the Oteros is the last thing I'm interested in.
Is there anything you want to tell me? You can speak in total honesty.
Don't you think I would find out about everything that happens under my roof?
I'm sorry, madam. I was there because your son...
Oh, yes, I do know my son.
What? Am I the only one who notices what's going on?
Danielle, this is not the time to...
Wait a moment, no. Be careful with what you're doing, okay? Isabel doesn't deserve to be cheated on.
No quiero enterarme que me hace.
Welcome back and thanks for keeping me company. Just in case you joined us, this is KBC Lunchtime News. Elsewhere, a big percentage of students in Nyatike, Migori County are unable to go back to school in the afternoon due to food shortage affecting the area. The situation is affecting academic performance among learners, with school heads opting for school feeding programs to salvage the situation. Take a look.
Agenga Primary School in the north ward of Migori County has a student population of 500. This school is among the institutions hit hardest by the ongoing drought that is still affecting parts of the county. According to the school's Board of Management Chair, Joshua Okeo, majority of the learners in the region have to make do with just 1 meal per day as numerous households grapple with the food shortage.
Our pupils to study under them or inside them. You go, you check the floors, are not in good condition. Agenga Primary School from 1946 has no fence.
Are in a bad condition, and the pupils are coming back home very dirty. In fact, you will have to buy 2 or 3 pairs for a pupil, for him or her to finish a week.
To counter these issues and enhance enrollment and retention rates in schools, some school head teachers have suggested implementing school feeding programs in areas of the county facing food shortage.
Some of the children stay at home, and if the program is introduced, it will be very healthy and the learners will continue learning well without any problem.
Now, Kenya film sector is set for a major boost following the inking of a partnership pact with China Film Industries. Speaking at the Two Rivers Mall in Nairobi, Kenya Film Commission CEO Timothy Owase noted the strategic collaboration promises to be a catalyst for creative exchange, cultural exploration and cooperation between the two countries. John Kahiro gives us that report.
The signing of a memorandum of understanding between Kenya and China film industry was marked by a series of film festivals. At the heart of this partnership lies the desire to bridge cultural divides and foster deep understanding between the two nations. Kenya Film Commission CEO Timothy Owase welcomed the initiative, noting that the partnership will enhance the bond between China and Kenya through advancements of human civilization.
What the MOU is going to do is to create a framework that will give Kenyan producers an avenue to engage their counterparts. Think about capacity development in terms of skills transfer. Think about co-production, where Chinese and Kenyan producers coming together to tell Kenyan and Chinese stories.
Beyond the creative realm, Owase added that the partnership will be an economic boon for both nations, noting that the influx of Chinese investment into Kenya's film industry will lead to creation of new job opportunities, technological advancements, and enhanced infrastructure. He at the same time reiterated his commitment in ensuring success of the cooperation.
We are encouraging the Chinese business people to be able to participate at key markets like Kalasha International Film and TV Market, while the Kenyan producers will also have an opportunity to participate in major Chinese film markets that are thriving. Remember, Chinese have a 1 billion population, and we are saying if we get a piece of the Chinese market, we'll be able to create wealth for this nation.
China Film Administration Deputy Director General Mao Yao expressed his enthusiasm for the collaboration, stating that the partnership will nurture a sustainable ecosystem that will benefit the two countries. Among other delegates who graced the event include Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Arts and Sports Ababu Namwamba and Chinese Ambassador to Kenya Zhou Pengzhan. The China-Kenya Film Festival has provided a platform to showcase talent and creativity, as well as fostering cultural exchange and understanding between the two countries. John Kahiro, Channel 1 News in Nairobi.
Thanks, John, for that report. Elsewhere, two siblings from Machakos County, Diana Nduku, who got a placement at the Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, and her brother, who is studying at Kitilu Secondary School in Machakos, are appealing to the government and any well-wisher to help finance their education. The two, who are orphaned and hail from Kitanga village of Mua Ward, aspire to complete their education so that they can be self-reliant. John Mulet, their uncle, together with his wife Margaret, have been taking care of them since their parents died, but he can no longer continue supporting them because he recently lost his job. Here's that report.
Na chenye ninaomba ni usaidizi tu, nisaidiwe. Hakuna haja watoto wakae chini. Mungu naomba tu anisaidie kwa hawa watoto. Ameitwa Kiambu University na sina pesa ya Kiambu.
Bwanangu afanyi kazi, ni vibarua tu. Hata mimi nafanya tu vibarua. Mama yake alikufa kitambo akaniachia watoto. Alikuwa sister yangu.
First nilikuwa apply Chuka University. Nende nikafanye diploma in nursing, but nikaona ikuenda through, so nikarudi apply tena KUSIPS. Ndio sasa for the first revision wakanipea, but wakaniambia submit the minimum requirements. Ndio apply the second revision, wakanipa diploma in environmental science Kiambu.
All my hopes zikaisha. So if you have heart of helping, unaweza tu nisaidia, cause kila mtu atalipwa tu kwa kazi yake. Pia the Bible says that blessed is the hand that gives, not the hand that takes.
So it is our sincere hope that they get help so that they may realize their education dream. And still on education, Kiambu County Government has embarked on the construction of modern centers for early childhood development education. The move will help enhance learners and provide a conducive environment for education. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of 40 ECDE centers in Kiambu County, Governor Kimani Wamatangi said the centers have twin classrooms, an office, an abolition block, and a play area. The governor further committed to building 130 new ECDE centers as part of the first phase, scheduled to be completed by the end of this year. He further urged parents not to politicize the management of the education sector.
This government has indicated one thing and one pertinent issue, that no child shall be left behind.
Darasa na shule zetu zote, mahali mtoto anakuja kufanywa introduction kwa masomo. Hiyo ndio ile mahali ama darasa ambazo zimekuwa kwa hali mbaya zaidi ndani ya kaunti mzima. Leo hii kuzindua, tumezindua ECD Center moja ECD Center 40. Jembe imeingia pale, imeingia kwa shule zingine 40 sahihi.
Now, the government has rolled out a national water catchment and restoration campaign program, an initiative that targets restore riparian lands that will boost the conservation of water towers that is currently under threat. The move involves clearing of eucalyptus trees along river resources and replacing them with environment-friendly trees. The exercise has kicked off in Bomet County and is expected to be replicated in other parts of the country.
What we really want is many more people to be involved in this. We have involved all the administrators from the assistant chiefs to Wazee Nyumba Kumi, and this work has been happening in all major rivers in this Bomet County. So this will be a huge event.
Major riparian areas restored so that we can be able to have enough water for our increasing water demand in the country. As you are aware, Kenya is regarded as a water scarce country.
In other news, youths in Kayole area, Nairobi County, have condemned the actions of their area assistant chief from Maili Saba for invading their businesses and breaking into their slot machines. For the youths to operate the gambling machines, they have been forced to regularly pay the area chief who visit the place to only collect money. The youths claim they have lost 15 machines which have been vandalized by the area chief for failing to part with the sum of money agreed.
Hiyo mara nyingi amekuja huko amechukua mashine bado amevunja huku. Amebeba kile nazo. Kule kwingine anatupatiwa pesa. Na sisi anatuharibia kazi, si mashine moja peke yake. Amebeba mashine kama 15 zile za huko kwetu. Mpaka tunashindwa ni kazi gani, kwani sisi ni wanatuumiza peke yake.
Plans to develop.
Let's now make sense of shillings and cents in business. We begin with the reforms at the coffee sector, where the government has picked the cooperative bank to operationalize the direct settlement system at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange. I beg your pardon. The system, modeled along the Central Depository and Settlement Corporation, will help in expediting payments to coffee farmers and producers. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has said the payment system will hasten the release of farmers' earnings and is among a raft of reforms that include reintroducing the coffee board that will regulate the subsector.
Plans to develop and actualize a seamless payment system at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange have been on the card for some time now as part of the reforms being undertaken in the coffee value chain. Under the new platform, farmers will receive their sale proceeds under the direct settlement system, a departure from the current system where payment services are handled by multiple players. The direct settlement system will see farmers receive prompt payment for their cherry sold at the auction.
Coffee farmers offering their coffee in the auction for the first time without having to go through middlemen.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the subsector is riddled with underhand dealings that may force the government to set aside funds to mitigate against potential losses due to missed bean sales.
Hajui kahawa yake inauzwa wapi, inauzwa pesa ngapi, inanunuliwa na nani, anapeleka kahawa yake kwa factory, anarudi nyumbani kungoja ataambiwa ni bei gani, hawezi uliza swali, haujui ilinunuliwa wapi, na hiyo ndio maneno ambayo tumekuja kushughulikia.
Speaking during the reopening of the Nairobi Coffee Exchange that has been on a 3-month recess, the Deputy President said a minimum guarantee price for coffee will be formulated to protect farmers from fluctuating coffee prices and exploitation.
Kama mnataka Coffee Board of Kenya ile nasimamia wakulima irudi, si ndio tulikubaliana? Tulisema tufufue KPCU ndio isaidie wakulima mambo ya milling so that we can avoid milling losses na ukora mambo ya grading.
This comes at a time when the Capital Markets Authority has cleared 3 additional cooperatives to trade at the floor of the Nairobi Coffee Exchange.
Cooperative unions, there are 11 unions in the room today, Your Excellency, who will participate for the first time in 60 years in the Nairobi Coffee Exchange.
The Coffee Research Institute will also get additional funding for seed development and extension services in a bid to increase production per bush from 3 kilos to 30 kilos in the short term. Benson Druba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, Equity Group Holdings Tuesday reported an 8% rise in first half net profit to 26 billion from 24 billion shillings recorded over a similar period last year. Equity Chief Executive Dr. James Mwingi says the group increased its loan loss provision by 89% to 6.3 billion to cover would-be risk as the lender increased its loan book by 26% to 817 billion shillings, targeting the retail borrowers and small enterprises.
Interest income increased by 17% to 46.4 billion shillings on account of strong returns from government securities, where the bank invested 485.6 billion shillings in treasury bills and bonds.
As we can see, there is an increase on yields on loans to 11.9 from 11.4, yield on government to 11.1 from 10%, and yield on interest earning asset from 9.7 all the way to 10.7, showing the sustainability of the model.
The bank also saw a 42% jump in non-funded income to 35.7 billion shillings. Equity Group CEO James Mwingi said the growth in income has been boosted by trade missions to the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as other subsidiaries that have pushed the trade, finance and forex trading from cross-border deals.
Almost 50% of the entire balance sheet of the group is now outside the Kenya banking subsidiary, which would likely be called the mother of this group.
So far, subsidiaries BCDC, Uganda, Rwanda and Tanzania accounted for 12.1 billion shillings of profits, meaning that almost half of its balance sheet is now outside of Kenya. During the period under review, the lender has, however, had to increase loan loss provisions from 3.3 billion shillings to 6.3 billion shillings to increase coverage in case of a default.
In light of that ratio you're seeing of 9.8% is likely to remain sticky in that period, and because of that we would like to keep our cost of risk high so that we take up coverage and make sure that the balance sheet remains safe as much as it continues to grow at a very high rate. Given the environment, we would like to maintain that safety.
The bank says it has managed loan portfolios through diversification in different markets and through credit risk guarantees from development finance institutions. The bank's loan book jumped 26% to 817.2 billion shillings from 650.6 billion shillings. Regina Manyara reporting for Lunchtime News.
Farmers in the coastal region have been encouraged to embrace climate-smart technologies in cultivating their industrial crops. Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization Director Finyange Pole says the technologies enhance fast maturity of crops, produce better yields, and improve the take-home for the farmer.
The shift from rain-fed agriculture to climate-smart agricultural practices aims to establish an inclusive and sustainable transformation that will change smallholder farming into a highly productive and efficient ecosystem. As a result, farmers have been encouraged to plant fast-maturing crops such as pulses that can survive even during drier periods and supplement their incomes.
We want to encourage our farmers around this time to grow these short-term crops because cowpeas, green grams and beans, they mature within 45 days and the rains are still with us. So we want to encourage them to grow those crops and to also not forget planting coconut and cashew nut, especially during the October rains because we are told we are going to have some El Nino.
Additionally, farmers are set to benefit from training on soil practices that are tailored to their crops' needs. The county government of Kilifi has also undertaken measures aimed at increasing water harvesting that will supplement farmers during dry periods.
Tumefanya mikakati ya water harvesting ili tuhakikishe katika ule ukulima ambao wameenda kufanya waweze kufanya kama kina mama tumeambia mambo ya garden farming na pia ukulima ule ambao ile climate ya pale itakwenda kusaidia ambao sasa tumepatia sana muhogo. Maana tumeona ni zao ambalo linakimu both weathers.
On their part, farmers lauded the initiative, saying it has helped them overcome the challenges of low productivity and are calling for a collaborative development approach that will strengthen Kenya's food security in the face of global threats.
Sasa guruti walipokuja kutuona tunahangaika mahali ya kulima wakatuchimbia visima. Ambao saa hii tunalima kupitia hivyo visima na tunalima pojo.
Sasa wametufundisha jinsi ya kupanda kama ni mahindi, kama ni pojo, kama ni kunde. Kwa hivyo na tulipofuata yale mafundisho tunaona kwamba tumefanikiwa. Hata saa hii kulingana na ile mvua imenyesha mahali pale tunaona ya kwamba upande wa mahindi tunaweza pata kama tani 300 saa hii.
Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
Retirees will now receive their benefits from the National Social Security Fund within 24 hours after filing their claim. NSSF plans to digitize its services in order to allow beneficiaries to access the services online.
Following the implementation of the new NSSF Act and Finance Act of 2023 that took effect on July 1st, employees will be deducted 6% of their monthly salary, with employers contributing an additional 6% to bring to a total of 12%. The NSSF Managing Director, David Koros, says the fund is working to ensure benefit payment is processed in a timely manner and that expenditure costs drop to 1% within 1 to 2 financial years.
We'll make sure in the not so distant future, benefits will be paid within 24 hours of launching of the claim. If all documentation is right, and we'll spare no effort to ensure that we have all the documents beforehand.
He says the company has been able to process and make payments of 1.9 billion shillings to pensioners in the month of July. He urged members with unclaimed benefits to claim them as soon as possible.
We've cleared all the backlog. We paid around 42,000 pending or cases that have been pending, over 42,000. In fact, it's 42,652 to be exact. Those have been paid.
The fund projects to grow its portfolio to over 600 billion shillings by 2026 through registration of new members.
Moving on, the government says it has not reintroduced fuel subsidies on petroleum products, contrary to widespread media reports. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority says its decision to tap the Petroleum Development Levy was to stabilize pump prices and cushion Kenyans from further spikes in the cost of living. EPRA Director General Daniel Kipto says without tapping the fund, a litre of super petrol would have retailed at 202.01 shillings, 183.26 per litre of diesel and 175.22 per litre of kerosene.
This follows the monthly energy prices report by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority that said that the government has been forced to tap into the Fuel Development Levy to stabilize the local retail price of the commodity. IPRA Director General Daniel Kipto says the reports are untrue. Kipto says IPRA has resulted in using fuel stabilization through the Petroleum Development Levy to anchor fuel prices for the month of August and September. Kipto says this is the fund that the government tapped to stabilize pump prices and cushion Kenyans from the high cost of living. IPRA says the fund is a stopgap measure to deal with the runaway fuel prices and tame inflation. Last night, IPRA announced that the price of fuel will remain unchanged despite a surge in the cost of crude in the international market. According to IPRA, the average cost of imported fuel increased in July by 64% for super petrol, 4.29% for diesel, and 7.41% for kerosene. Without the subsidy, the prices of super petrol would have gone up by 7 shillings and 33 cents per litre for super petrol, 3 shillings and 59 cents per litre for diesel, and 5 shillings and 74 cents per litre for kerosene. Kipto explained that oil marketers will be reimbursed for the differences from the Petroleum Development Fund. Weri Mujenga for Lunchtime News.
We now shift focus to Matter Sports, and for that we cross over to the great county of Uasin Gishu, to be specific, the Kip Keino Stadium, where we expect the Devolution games as well to precede the Devolution conference. And I can see my colleagues on standby, that is Wycliffe Okech there with one of the county governors. Let's first of all cross over to Eldoret. Over to you, Wycliffe.
Well, thank you so much, Troy. Like we already told you in the morning that the conference tomorrow is being preceded by a host or rather myriad of pre-conference activities, among them the tug of war. We also have athletics and now football. That has been the norm here at the Kipchoge Keino Stadium since morning. We already had the athletics, we already had the tug of war, now it's the football. And right now the teams that are on the pitch, this is Nyandarua County, and also IGRCT, which is a local team here as well. Immediately after the teams here, they get out of the pitch. Up next on the pitch will be the governors, or rather the Council of Governors, pit against the Senate. And with me here is the governor of Kakamega, who is actually captaining the Council of Governors. Governor, how are you? This is KBC Channel 1. Talk to us. How prepared is your team to take on the Senate this afternoon?
Very well. I want to appreciate all the organizers here. As the captain of the governors, we are very much prepared to beat the senators today. My team has a lot of confidence, and they're saying that this time around they have to show the senators that governors are also sporty. So we are very confident of an emphatic win, so that we can preserve our pride as being the champions of football.
Actually, we are talking about the champions of football, and I'm so sure you are so very passionate, and you are positive that you are going to match the winner in that match. Who is composing your team? Who is part of that team?
Pardon?
Who is part of your team, the Council of Governors team?
The team is comprised of governors and deputy governors. Well, the starting lineup has around 8 governors and 2 deputy governors. And also the substitution has around 5 governors and 2 deputy governors. So largely it's a team of governors, and we want to give our best shot today. Yeah.
Well, I immediately after this match, I'm so sure we'll be heading to the to Eldoret Sports Club. What are the issues? What is your major expectation from this conference as the governor of Kakamega?
Basically, after today being a curtain raiser, I know tomorrow we'll be having His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who will be coming to officially open this conference. And the theme is looking at the success of devolution for the last 10 years and the way forward for the next 10 years. So it's a very exciting discussion that will be basically critiquing the strength and some of the misses of devolution. So we want to welcome everybody here in Ngishu. Of course, our host governor is Governor Jonathan B., who has done tremendous preparations for today. So I just want to welcome you guys to come and watch the governors and senators game, which is coming up shortly.
Thank you, and we wish you well in your deliberations. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Ben Troy, that is the governor of Kakamega County. Fernandez Baraza, who is actually captaining the Council of Governors team, that is going up next against the Senate. And we will be here actually to bring you the results. And of course, from here, today being the curtain raiser, we are much on the ground to cover all that's happening here at Kipchoge Keino Stadium, and also on the other side, the Eldoret Sports Club, where the gist of this conference is taking place. Back to you, Troy.
Thank you so much, Wycliffe Okech, there engaging the captain of Team Council of Governors, Fernandez Barasa, who will steer his team as they face the Senators live at the Kipchoge Keino Stadium. In other news, Rafael Varane scored the winner 14 minutes from time as Manchester United gained a fortunate win against Wolves in their opening game of the new Premier League season at Old Trafford. In the Spanish La Liga, Atletico de Madrid beat Granada. Well, that's about it. Thank you indeed so much for joining us. That's all the time we had for KBC Lunchtime News. Of course, you can find these stories plus much more on our website together with our social media platform. My name is Bentro Njue. My colleague has been Lensa Odingo on the sign language interpretation. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon.